Hey everyone, welcome to I Totally Love It. My name is Susan, and today I'm just playing with my Gelli Plate. I'm actually working on a project, on a challenge, and I need some crazy colors. And so I thought, well, maybe I can achieve that with the Gelli Plate. So I pulled out pink blossom, plum, orange, bright yellow, and aqua from my Craft Smart. These are just Michael's paints, my paints from Michael, the little box set. And I've got this from Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance last year. This is iridescent fluorescent pink. That'll be fun. I do have some other little acrylics here on the side. I've got bright aqua green. This is milky white. This is Naples yellow hue and unbleached titanium. So those are on the sidelines here if I need them. I do have two new stamps. I haven't used it. Foam stamps from PM Artist. I think these are Harry Griffiths, I think. And I did get two stencils. This is ampersands, and these are rustic gears. And of course, I have my other little whatnots. Plus, I did pull out some baker's twine just to, put it up there and kind of brayer over it and make a little whatever. I'm playing. So if you're actually seeing this, I must have been okay with the results. On the side here, I've got some book text page, and I've got some labels. And in the box with the labels, when I picked them up at Goodwill, there was some copy paper. So I'm just going to use some of that. And I also have some graph paper I'm going to try. It's a little thinner. So I got my brayer. And I think that's it. So I'm just going to play around. So if you're seeing this, I must have been happy with what I needed for my project. And I thought I would just bring you along. I am going to speed this up and put some music to it for you to listen to. That's just a short little video. All right, guys, so sit back, relax, and enjoy some tunes, and let's get cracking. All right, guys, let's have a look at these. I like this one. It really does covers what I need as far as crazy colors. I feel like it could use a little mark making, so that might work. Graph paper actually worked out better than I thought. Um, that was a little weird doing that. I also realized that my stamps are, if I stamp them in ink and then stamp or paint and then stamp them on the paper, they're right side up. But if I'm picking up the paint from the plate, they're backwards. So these were just some pickup sheets. This one needs a little more to it, but that was not bad. I had the bubble in there, and then last few times I tried to use a corrugated board, cardboard, but it was a smaller piece. I think the pieces were too flat. I didn't get the ridges, so I was giving up. But then I had that bigger piece, and I thought I'll try that. So that's fun. And that's a roll-off sheet. That's actually kind of neat. I like those. I really need to get better about getting to the edges, though. So we might add to it next time. That iridescent is kind of cool. Kind of a cool effect there. That was just a pull-off sheet. So this was a pickup paint. That one has the iridescent is kind of cool when you catch it. And that's kind of neat. That one will start out great, but then I really should have put a color behind it. But sometimes I don't plan well. This is my favorite. Like, if you've been watching me jelly print, this looks like a professional. It's like a professional did it. I think I was watching Darcy. I think she was the one that did the little bits of paint here and there. Um, and so I thought I'll do that. I think it turned out all right. And of course, that's where it would pick up from the plate. But I also let it sit with the paper. Well, I let it dry. Then I put the paint on, which I glopped too much of that on there, but it's still. I let the paper sit. I did something else while it was drying. Now I see why everybody's got multiple jelly plates. This one's kind of cool. Could use a little mark making, but that's that Naples yellow. So that's kind of a nice fall yellow if you like colors for fall. It's just a label sheet that was brayer off, and of course, that was where I pulled off when I had too much of that titanium stuff on there, and then I took the big bubble wrap after I took it off, and I feel like I get the big bubble wrap. I get pretty good with the bubbles itself, and then with the pull off on the jelly plate, as opposed to the smaller. Well, I feel like I get more bang for my buck with the bigger one. The smaller one, by the time I take it off and try to put it on something, the paint that's actually on the bubbles, it's dried. So not sure why, but so that's a good little stash of papers that I can add to my stack of some papers that I'm using in my 100-day project. But also, it's going to go in this project coming up. So I appreciate you and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do not come to me for tips on jelly plating. You need to go see Sherry at Ratchet Up Your Art. You need to go see Darcy at Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media. I cannot talk tonight. Mixed Media and Carrie Griffiths. Those are the three top. I think Gail does them like sometimes on Mondays. She'll do like a Mixed Media Monday. So those are probably your best bet as far as who I know do the jelly plating. But I just want to come up here and show you my stencils, make some things, and just play around with the jelly plate. See if I'm actually learning. I gotta track my progress, right? All right, guys. I appreciate you and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.